Well, hello, welcome to this Heroes Mastermind interview. I'm your host, Tim Mai. Today I have Jpaul Mills and Mike Flowers on the line with us. And we're going to interview Jpaul and Mike on how they went from 0 to 15 deals in just 5 months. Right? And then went on to triple that number the next year, 45 deals. They do a variety of different marketing, but one of the ones that they're really strong in is bird dogs to bring them deals. So excited to have both of them online with us. Jpaul, Mike, welcome, buddies.
Thanks.
All right, great. So why don't we start with you guys sharing with us a little bit about yourself, how you got started, and how did you guys get started together?
So I was working about a 60-hour a week job, and basically just wanted a way out of it. I was tired. I wasn't making that much money. I was working 60 hours a week. Never really got to see my family, things like that. And so I wanted to find something different. I heard the Fortune Builders thing come through town, so I went to their little one-night seminar. Went to that, ended up signing up for the weekend, and I think it was like $150. Went to the weekend seminar. At the very end, the last day, they started talking about wholesaling, and I didn't really have a ton of money. Like I said, I was working a 60-hour a week job, but I wasn't making that much money. I was making I really wasn't making that much money. So I didn't have the 30 grand to pay into the course. So I just took that, and I went online. I found tons of different free information online where you can learn how to do wholesaling and things like that, and just really got started. So I started putting out some bandit signs, and this guy calls my bandit sign, and so we're talking. We decided, okay, well, there's this deal that he saw on Craigslist, so we went out to it together. We talked through that deal. Ended up they wanted $55,000 for the house. We ended up getting it for $22,000, and since then we've been working together.
That's awesome. Wow.
Now, a little bit about me. I mean, I've been in sales my whole life. I've got 3 children of my own, and I was selling cars for Toyota at the time, and working every Saturday, and working like Mike was doing. I mean, 60, 70 hours a week, just hustle, and I just got burnt out, man. I knew there was more. All my brothers, I'm the youngest of 4 boys. All my brothers are in trades, building houses from the ground up. I mean, they're all in trades. So I was like, well, I want to do something like that, maybe flip houses or something, but I just didn't have the capital to buy it, rehab it, and then put it on the market.
Right.
So I was like, how are these people doing this? No money out of pocket, no credit, flipping houses. So I heard about wholesaling, found out about Sean Terry, listened to a lot of his stuff, and I just started networking and calling any bandit sign I saw. And like I said, I saw Mike's bandit sign. Of course, I called Mike. He's trying to sales pitch me over here. He's like, hey, what's your situation? You got a house you want to sell? I was like, no, man, let's just work. And I'm new in the business. So, and then like I said, I found that lead on Craigslist, and I didn't know anything about what I was doing. And, I was like, hey, you want to come check this out with me? We'll split it 50-50. And we just started like that and just started doing deals that way. So, and that was July of 14, and on October of 14, I walked into the dealership, and I was like, I gotta go.
In December of 14, I walked into my job and said the same thing. I was like, see you later.
So you're full time now.
That's awesome, super inspiring, and out of that, like I have a really good tip for all the single ladies out there. If you want to find good-looking real estate investors, call on bandit signs.
Yeah, call bandit signs. You'll find some people. There you go.
I don't have a house to sell, but are you looking to go out?
Awesome. So share with us what that journey was like, because to go from 0 in July of 2014 to 15 deals by the end of the year is like pretty big accomplishment, right?
It's crazy because, I mean, I hear stories, especially in our local area. There's people that it takes them 6, 7, 8 months to do their first deal. So I would give anybody some advice: don't give up. And it was favor from God on how we just hit the ground running and closed 3 deals and made 30 grand within our first 45 days. I mean, that was awesome, but It doesn't happen like that for everybody. So I would just give anybody out there that's listening advice just to don't quit. Don't do one mailing campaign and, I didn't get a deal, it doesn't work. Well, yes, it does work. You got to keep doing it. Don't put out 5 bandit signs and, I don't get any phone calls, or the leads aren't good enough for wholesales. It doesn't work. You got to keep doing it, and it will happen.
Yeah.
You just got to be persistent and keep doing it. a lot of people think that wholesaling's easy, get rich quick. It is work, man. It really is work.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and the biggest thing is a lot of people want to learn every single facet about wholesaling before they start into it, and that's the worst thing you can do. I mean, in my opinion. We didn't know that much when we first started. We just started putting out bandit signs. When we had to bring the first contract to the table, it was just like, what do I put where? What do I do? So, I mean, we just watched YouTube videos, looked at that. People like to learn and keep learning and learning and learning, but at a point, you got to start doing it.
Yeah.
And that's really, I think, what separated us more than anything else is the fact that we just started doing it, and we learned as we went. And I think that really separated us from a lot of the other people is because we weren't scared to commit and do the deals and sign the contracts and get the stuff done. Yeah, do you want to make sure you're not doing something illegal? Yes. You want to make sure you're not doing something illegal. But beyond that, I mean, knowing every single facet, you don't need to know that right away. Just get started, get moving, put out the marketing, put out the bandit signs, put out the letters, things like that. Get those calls coming in because, like we tell people that we teach all the time, it's, that first call that you do, you're going to suck. You're going to be really, really bad. You're going to stumble over your words. You're not going to know what to ask. But after you get through that 100th, that 1,000th call, you're going to be very comfortable on the phone. You're going to be able to do that. And the same thing with appointments. Even if, I tell people, even if you don't think you're going to get the deal, still go to the appointment because you're going to be able to learn how to build rapport. You're going to be able to learn how to talk to people, be able to learn how to negotiate, things like that you can only learn actually doing it. And so people, they like to sit there and learn and watch YouTube videos and listen to podcasts, things like that. Go out and do it.
Yeah, take action while you're learning. Take action.
Yeah, take action and actually do it.
That's what we were doing. I mean, we were learning. I mean, I was coming home from my sales job and helping with the kids and getting the kids in bed by 8 o'clock. And from 8 till about 1 in the morning, I was listening to Sean Terry's podcast. I was watching YouTube videos. I was handwriting bandit. I mean, I was just doing things while learning. So, like Mike just said is, no, you're not going to know everything. We don't even know everything right now. I mean, we just picked up a deal last week under Subject 2. But I didn't know a lot about Sub 2, so I have a mentor. I ask questions. This guy's been in the business since you've been in the 02, 03. So I'm like, hey, Matt, I need to know what I need to do on this. And so I would suggest anybody to get under someone's wing that has done some deals, Sub 2, lease options, note and NPNs, whatever you're doing. I mean, just people that know how to do that. Ask them questions. Walk me through this. And if they, if you want to give them a little bit of the cut of the deal to help you walk through it, do it.
Right. It's just don't be scared to do things that you're not used to. It's just, that's part of the business. It's part of the business.
Now, one of the things that I would say, we don't go into a seller's house and if we don't know the answer, we're not going to make something up and lie. We'll be like, hey, I have no idea about that. Let me call my mentor. Let me call someone that would know. And I would suggest new wholesalers or anybody in the investing world, get with someone, like I said, that's been doing it for a while. And if you have questions, see if the rehabber or the contractor or whatever can walk that property with you. And he will point things out that you might not have thought of. From mid-60s to mid-70s when they were doing aluminum wiring. Not everybody knows about that. So, there's things that you'll learn as you go through, but taking action instead of doing the analysis paralysis of just read everything and then not doing anything about it. Too many people learn, but if they don't do anything with it, it's just like a doctor. If he goes to all these years of school but never goes into a practice, well, what is he doing?
Right.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Did partnering up with each other helps that, taking action part of it, where now you guys, holding each other to account, you feed off of each other's energy, each other's enthusiasm. So would you recommend, well, I guess, let me go back to ask you in a question. So did that help you guys, like being partners?
Definitely. I mean, I definitely think just having both of us sitting there and being able to bounce ideas off each other, being able to, kind of feed off. So there's some days where, one of us doesn't want to do anything, but the other one comes in, we figure it out, and we make it happen, we make things happen. And having that ability to keep each other accountable, things like that helps a lot to really keep you motivated and keep you going.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's just, back on that Sub 2 deal. Mike here didn't even know anything about it.
I was in Biloxi.
I get the phone call from a guy I go to church with, basically that bird dogged the deal to me. I locked it all up with Sub 2, and I did all this. I ran all the comps. I did all the numbers. I went and had a contractor meet me there. We walked through the property. Then I call him. I'm like, hey, we just picked up another rehab. He's like, oh, Awesome.
I'm sitting at a blackjack table. I had no idea this was going on.
He's like, cool. So yeah, I mean, it's just there can be things can be done. You know, we've had people say, well, doesn't it stink to split every deal because we each have our own entity. We are married as far as the teamwork,
right.
And he is the missus.
No. You can't be pulling that out now. We already talked about this.
But I mean, we're married as far as teamwork and all that and what we do, but we both have our own entity. So if there's something down the road that happens in my life or in his life, we don't have to split everything up. But we JV with everything. We have JV on everything. You know,
so all right. So the way you guys have it structured is that you know, on paperwork, you each have your own businesses.
Yes.
And the two businesses do deals with each other and split money per deal.
Exactly.
On our purchase agreement, on the buyer's side, on the buyer's line, he's got his LLC and I've got my LLC with the and/or signs on everyone. And if we say if by chance he happened to sign something up, then we'll do a JV agreement. But I mean, we split everything down the middle.
That's cool, and I like that setup a lot. I mean that.
It's clear.
It's clear, and you know if it doesn't work out for whatever reason, it's super easy to separate. To walk away.
Yeah,
and so
all we have to do is finish the current stuff we have going on, and then we can go on about our business. So
yeah. I mean that's I do the same thing. I recommend I don't ever go into a business partner with someone without first like doing some deals with them to learn the personality and learn how we can best work together.
Well, the strong suit you don't have to have an incorporation together or the same LLC. We don't have to, because you can have a joint venture agreement that lays out all the guidelines. So, because there could be, like I said, there could be things in my life that maybe one day I wake up and say, you know what, I'm moving to Costa Rica. And then he's like, well, wait a second, what about our business? I'm not saying that can be great.
I would love to, go live in Costa Rica, something like that. I'd probably just go to tell you the truth.
But it's so much easier because you can do everything with a joint venture agreement.
Right. Awesome. So let's talk about, those 15 deals that you guys did. Where did you find those leads? Walk us through the process so that way if someone was to learn this and they say, all right, we are now in August, right? This is not July, but we're in August and I want to do 15 deals from now until the end of the year. Like, what should I be doing? So how did you guys do that?
The biggest thing was everything we did was manual. We did a whole bunch of, it was all manual work. So we did handwritten bandit signs, which accounted for a lot of our deals. I would say between 80 and 90% of our deals in that first 6-month stretch were from bandit signs, and we would handwrite every single one of them. So there's a place in town here we could go get. I think there were 6x4 sheets of yellow.
4x8.
4x8 sheets of yellow coroplast. We would cut them, and he would write them because my handwriting is terrible. So he would write them, and we would go out and we would stick them everywhere. We put out about 100 bandit signs a month, and those were all handwritten. We'd also do what's driving for dollars. We would go out, we would drive neighborhoods, we'd find what looked to be vacant houses, we'd put them on a list, and we'd handwrite them, yellow letters. So those are the kind of things that we did. We also, a big step to help us get a lot of buyers on our list was joining our local RIA and finding those people that are actually doing deals in the market and getting them on our buyers list. So, our average turnaround time on a deal is 21 days because we can know within a week if that deal is going to actually get assigned, and then our guys know within 2 weeks whether they're going to be able to close or not. So normally within 21 days from signing it up, we had the thing closed, as long as the sellers are okay with moving it forward. So that was a big thing, is being able to build that buyer's list from our RIA, and then we just did a lot of manual work. We worked a lot those first 6 months. We would do our normal job, and then we would come home, work till midnight, and then all day on the weekends getting all this stuff done, putting out bandit signs, writing up these letters, doing this stuff. But it got us a lot of deals.
Yeah, and the handwritten bandit signs really did do it for us in the beginning. But like we were saying, earlier, that in our market there are so many people out there doing it because the Fortune Builders groups come through, and the the flip or flop group, or all those
Right.
success
All
path,
those mentoring
Right.
all the mentoring, the guru groups come through. People hear about wholesaling and they start doing it, and it floods the market. But then, like we talked earlier, then it kind of dies out.
Right.
Then it goes back up, then it dies out. So just be consistent. So that's what we were doing with our first 15 deals. I mean, we were just being consistent and always taking action and doing it. And I mean, we're averaging $8,000 to $10,000 per assignment. Now we've done some $2,000 assignments. The largest we've done was a $23,000 assignment, and that was off of a bandit sign. So I mean, we're just taking action and doing it, and that's what we're doing.
There's an area here that we put out 20 bandit signs. We got 2 calls with those 20 bandit signs. The first one was code enforcement. The second one was a deal that was our highest profit deal in the least amount of time we've had a deal ever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you only get 2 calls, you can still get 2.
Right. And what did you say to the code enforcement?
He wanted us to come back out and take the signs down. I mean, we were already like 25 miles away. There was no way we were getting out there that same day.
Right.
So we told him the truth. There's no way we can get out there today, but we will come out there and make sure those signs are down. And we did eventually come and make sure the signs that he was showing were telling us to move were down or moved in the right spot. And a lot of them were taken up by that point anyway. But in that time frame, we got another call that made us a $23,000 profit that we assigned the same day we picked the contract up. We assigned it to somebody and made $23,000.
Nice, that's awesome. And then how many signs did you guys put out per week, per month?
We're doing about 100 a month is what we've been doing. Okay. We noticed that whenever all the bandit signs are out there, we kind of slow down a little bit. We'll do about 50 a month in different areas, but we're consistently doing a lot of direct mail too.
A lot of what we do is we see where other people are putting their bandit signs out. Mm-hmm. So what we'll do is we'll kind of take them back from that area. So like here at Escambia County, which is the county that Pensacola's in, there's 5 to 10 bandit signs on every single corner. But if you move 2 counties over, Okaloosa, which is another one we're just a little ways away from there, we put out most of our bandit signs there now because there's not a lot of people putting them out there. So there's not a lot of eyes on different bandit signs out there. So we put most of our signs out there. And we still put out between 75 and 100 a month. It's just not in the same locations every time. It's just we try and vary that up to try and get the most exposure for our signs.
Right. And then that's really great idea of going where other people are not putting theirs out, right? So you get more eyeballs onto your signs. And so when you put out 7,500, do you do them all at once, or do you spread them out like a little bit each week, or what?
I try to do 50 every other week.
50, okay.
And I have somebody that puts them out for us, and he puts them out 50 every other week. We have an area that we're going to start doing it because there's an area that we really want to hit with bandit signs, but every time we put them out there, it seems like within a couple of days they're all pulled up. So what we're going to start doing is on Friday nights he's going to put them out, leave them all weekend. On Sunday night he's going to take them back up for me. So he's going to do 50 like that. We'll do that once or twice a month so that we can save on some of those bandit signs, because putting them out and having them out there for a couple of days really isn't getting our money's worth on these bandit signs. So if we can put them out, pick them back up, we may lose a few, but it'll be better than losing all of them. So we'll keep doing that back and forth as well.
Gotcha. Great. Now, I know you guys have expanded into getting a lot of deals from bird dogs as well. So can you explain us, like, who are these bird dogs, how you find them?
I would say just talking to people. You got your circle of friends. I would suggest using any kind of free marketing tool that's out there via Facebook, Craigslist. I've seen people put Craigslist ads out saying, "Hey, would you be interested in making $500 to $1,000 for making some phone calls or giving me some phone calls or anything like that?" People I go to church with, people that he knows. Just talk to everybody. Hey, let them know what you do. Let them know that hey, you buy houses. Maybe you don't have the capital to buy the houses, but your end buyer does. Mm. So when you let these people know what you're doing, that you're flipping properties and you're you're looking for vacant or whatever the kind of property is, I would suggest saying, hey, look, if you bring me some vacant properties or people that are wanting to sell now, maybe they inherited it, just send me tell that bird dog, send me that lead. If I close a deal, we give them $500.
Yeah, and if it's a big deal, we'll even up that to $1,000 and just kind of give them that more motivation. Now, another thing that we do is there's a lot of different careers and things that drive a lot. And one being postal workers.
Right.
So what we do is when we're, especially if we're in a neighborhood looking at houses where we're going on appointments, things like that, if we're in that neighborhood already and I see the postman running around, I'll walk up to him and tell him, hey, you're the one that's going to be looking at these houses a lot. You're going to see if they're vacant. You're going to know if they're accepting mail or not. And I tell them, I give them my business card and I say, hey, I buy houses. I'm looking for houses to buy. If you send me a lead on a vacant house or one that you think is vacant, I'll pay you $500 if I close on it. And I mean, most of them, some of them are going to be are not going to want to do that, but most of them will send you those leads in anticipation of the $500. And
right.
we've given out quite a few $500 checks, and they're always real happy when they get them. So that gets us a lot of leads. Another one is the company I used to work for did DirecTV installs. And those are more people that drive around a lot. So if you find DirecTV installers, cable installers, people that have to drive to these residential neighborhoods all the time, those are the people you want as bird dogs, because those are the people that are going to be seeing these houses day in, day out, going to these neighborhoods, going through residential areas. And then you don't have to do that driving for dollars as much because they're already hitting those big major neighborhoods, and they'll send you those leads.
That's good. Yeah, good. Definitely good tips. Okay, and then so you offer these guys or these people $500 referral fee. Do you just talk to them about it? Do you actually have business cards that talks about your $500 referral fee that you hand out to these?
We kind of just talk to them about it, and that's really what we've done is just kind of explain to them what we do and what we what we're looking to do and what we can do for them if they if they could send us some deals.
So on my card, it doesn't say anything about the $500 fee, but on the back of all of my cards, you can see it says I buy houses cash fast.
Yeah.
So I give one of these business cards to every single one of them so they can see I definitely buy houses, and they have that phone number on the back too, so they can give this to other people. I'll even give them a little stack of them too that they can give out if they want to, and I tell them they can write their name on it, and then if they tell me the name, then I know who to go back to, things like that. That way, it gives you a little bit more credibility when you're talking to these people if you instantly have something that tells them you buy houses. So I put that on the back of every single one of my business cards so that they know, okay, this guy actually does buy houses. I mean, he's ordered cards with all that stuff on there, so he does buy houses. It gives you a little bit more credibility that way.
Right. Yeah, and what I love about what you guys are doing and how you're doing is you keep it super simple, right? So I mean, so far, like nothing we've heard has been complicated or that requires a lot of thinking or a lot of work. Like it's just doing it, right? So that's really great. All right. What are other? I know. So we talked about bandit signs. We talked about bird dogs. I know you guys are big on direct mail as well. Who do you mail to? How do you get your list?
Well, what we do is, we do the typical absentee owner list, but we try to target higher equity, and sometimes we'll target age group like 55 or older. But a lot of people that are doing direct mail do absentee. So whenever we send out direct mail and we go on an appointment for that motivated seller lead, a lot of times they're going to have 4 or 5 other letters from your home investors or whoever.
Right.
One good thing about, we go back to networking a little bit, one good thing with us is since we do so much networking, we know almost everyone in this market that's doing this. When we talk to a seller, we can go through and tell them, these are the people that are sending you mail. We know them, they're good people, and that kind of builds us credibility as well because they realize we're obviously doing things in this market because we know all these people. So that gives us a little bit more credibility. So that goes back again to do that networking. Make sure you know everybody in the market so that you sound like you know what you're doing. No matter, even if you've never done a deal before, you will know all these people. That builds you a little bit more credibility for you.
Mm-hmm. Another thing that we also hit, each month we hit probates. We also hit tax delinquents. We hit code violation liens. And we've done a little bit with like some divorce leads. We've done a little bit with evictions, but we haven't really seen a lot of fruit from that. But we do like the probate, we do like the tax delinquent and the code enforcement because that is basically a certain situation where they probably need an out. So
and it also goes back to the same thing I was talking about with bandit signs, is where when we see there's a lot of people hitting a certain list, so we see everybody in this market is hitting that absentee 10 plus years of ownership. A lot of their times are doing the out of states, things like that. And that's a very low barrier to entry to get that list. I mean, you can just go to ListSource, download it, you're done. There's some other lists like tax delinquent, like divorce, like you were saying, the evictions. Those are a little bit higher barrier to entry for the simple fact that you actually have to go. I don't think they do tax delinquent on ListSource, but I'm not sure. I don't go there very often. But I mean, for us, we actually have to go to the county, get the list, and then I sit down and I build our list out of that tax delinquent. So it's a little bit higher barrier to entry. So I know not as many people are going to be mailing that list,
right.
And we're going to have more people that are focused more on our stuff rather than other people's stuff. So that helps us as well, be able to target our marketing where other people aren't necessarily targeting theirs. And it comes back, if you are going to do that higher generated list, so that absentee, things like that, if you're going to do that, you have to make sure you're consistent and you're sending the mail on time every time so that you're the only one. They may have 4 cards from other people, but they have 6 of your cards sitting there, and they know you're sending mail every single month. That means if you're going to hit those absentee owners, you're going to hit those lower barrier to entry lists, you have to make sure you're consistent to build more credibility even before you ever get the phone call.
Right. Yeah. And do you guys send out the same card every month, or you send out different versions of them?
It varies we have about 4 different cards that we use, and then we also, for our probate, they go on a 5-letter series that lasts 6 months, so we skip 1 month in there, and then the last letter will come on the 6th month. They're all different. It really depends on the different mailings.
Right.
But yeah, we have 4 different postcards that we normally send, and we'll vary those back and forth.
We've also done some yellow letters as well, but yellow letters obviously are a little bit more expensive, but they do get a higher response rate. Now, we've tested some things with our cards where we're getting pretty good responses, but the general idea is, everybody's wanting response rate, but I can send out a postcard that has a certain message on it, and I'll get 100% response rate. If I say I'm going to pay full retail on your property, of course I'm going to get a lot of response. So really, the bottom line is response rate is really irrelevant. It's how many can you convert out of that. That's the conversion rate is the key. And like I said, you can send out a postcard and you send out 1,000 postcards and get 1,000 phone calls. Well, it's probably because of the message you said on there. It's how many deals you convert is the key.
And that's the reason we kind of switched more into postcards rather than yellow letters. Yellow letters would get us 17 to 20% response rate, but not only that, but I would have to hire another VA to come through and do calls because I had too many calls coming in, things like that. So when we started doing postcards, we realized, okay, we're getting about half the number of calls. The deals are relatively the same. We may have 1 or 2 less deals from it, but I have less expense in assistance. I have less expense in actual mail pieces. I can send more. I can touch more leads. I can know where everything's going. So we realized that postcards, while they may not give us as high of a response rate, the deal rate was around the same, and they're much more efficient as far as your cost versus what you're going to get out of them.
Gotcha. Awesome. Now, I know you guys started, teaching other people, how to get into wholesaling as well. How do you like that? How do you like the teaching part of things?
We like it. We always make stupid, crazy little videos and post them on wholesaling houses full time, and just funny things that we're doing in our business. And so we have no problem being out there. And we were new when we started, so we enjoy helping people. Just like I like hearing some people that have called and asked me some questions or Mike some questions, and then they finally get their first deal and they're hyped up about it. It's a good feeling to know that, hey man, this guy just made $8,000 on his first assignment. That's awesome. It's a good feeling.
Right, that's awesome. Well, so here's a big question for you guys. Ready? So here at the Heroes Mastermind, we see that all entrepreneurs are heroes. Right, because of the commitment that we offer our family, our employees, our clients, right? Do you guys, and especially when you have students, do you see yourself as a hero or as heroes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I guess I've never thought of it in that term, but I mean, I guess, that makes sense, yeah.
Okay, all right, great. So thank you so much, guys, for this awesome interview. We're going to wrap this up now. If people want to, learn more about you, check you out, connect with you, where do you want to send them?
I mean, Mike and I are both on wholesaling houses full time. The Facebook group. Thanks, Alex Youngblood. I mean, so you can find us on Facebook there. I am Jpaul Mills.
Mike Flowers.
And I mean, obviously we got our emails and stuff. If you wanted that, I can give you that. It's Jpaul Jpaul at newcreationinvestments with an S.com.
And mine is Mike Flowers at homeaboveproperties.com. Properties is plural. If you have any questions, just shoot us emails. We normally get back to emails pretty quickly. If you want to see some of our videos, we put out some funny stuff. We actually, I don't know, have you ever seen the movie Office Space?
Oh, yeah.
We did the printer, the copier printer scene. We did that with a vanity recently, so that's up there. That's over at Northwest Florida Real Estate on YouTube. So if you want to check that out, you can check those out, or just shoot us some emails if you have questions.
Awesome. And is there any resources that you guys are looking for that perhaps someone watching this video might be able to provide for you?
Well, we're always looking for new motivated people that want to get into the business and want to learn. Just contact us. We're always looking for people like that because we can help you to learn your business and things like that and build everything with you and teach you and do those things. We're also always looking for people that have money that want to buy properties. We're always expanding our markets to other areas. We also have a lot of networking that goes out to different places in the country that we get deals from California, from New York, from things like that where we can't do anything with them here, but we'll always outsource those to somebody else. So we're always looking for people that want to get into the business or have some money that want to buy properties, things like that. Yeah, always.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate you. It's been an awesome interview. I'm honored to I'm very inspired to see your success, right? 2014, that's only 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And, the amount of, deals, the amount of accomplishments you guys have achieved in such a short amount of time has been incredible. So congratulations to both of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Well, happy investing, everyone, and see you on the next interview.